You are now watching Brooklyn's Tea Talk on Worldwide Entertainment Television. It's your man Maloney, Breaking Wrecords Radio, and the place to be. Let's go!
Holla at me. You already know what time it is. Yeah. He's not taping.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, yo, did you get that? He's like, no, I'm sorry. It's just
the pre-interview stuff's always got the gold. That's why when people come to the podcast, I'm like, all right, just don't talk. Like, we'll be outside like some token before like the show or whatever, and then people will start talking about like some story. I'm like, all right, just stop that thing. Like, save it for the podcast. Because if I get up there and I ask you, you're not going to tell me with the same enthusiasm.
Nah.
Ready?
It's recording.
Oh! You see, now you want to...
Because I didn't adjust it.
Okay.
The sneak start.
All right, everybody. It's the one and only Brooklyn. I am back on Brooklyn's comfy couch. I'm sorry we do not have our backdrop here, you know, but there was a little bit of technical difficulties, but it doesn't really matter because this is Brooklyn's Tea Talk on Brooklyn's big comfy couch, and I'm sitting here with the one and only Maloney.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
Yes, honey. It's
I like
about
the couch.
time.
It's nice and comfy. I'm not used to this.
No, but you know what
I can just kind of sprawl my lanky ass out. You know what I mean? Like, this is nice.
I like this. You know how long we've been...
It's been me and Dad.
Yes,
for a minute,
but you know what? Everything happens for a reason, and this is the reason why you're here. And I was talking about his swag, and you know, men, you need to take notes because he's wearing this. I asked him if this was his favorite team, and you know what he said to me? Tell him what you said.
Nah, but it's my girl's favorite team.
It's his girl's favorite team, and he's representing. Yes, honey. I love your girlfriend, by the way.
Yo, she's awesome, right? Shout out to the lead.
Yes, love you, boo boo.
Hey.
Up on Instagram like you did the other day. So let's.
Yeah, she wanted to be here actually, but her dog's sick, so she was kind of looking forward to coming.
Well, tell her the next interview she needs to come on the big comfy couch.
Well, I'll get you on Breaking Wrecords Radio.
Yes, and we'll have a little, you know, one-on-one sipping tea. I'm sipping some real tea, aka wine. You know, get the little dish on you.
Is that what the Tea Talks is about? You sipping wine?
I wish I could.
Cause that's the real tea.
Yeah, it is the real tea. Okay. But the real tea is you know the gossip, everything that's going on.
I got you.
The real tea is your information. That
so like, I can be Kermit right now.
Of course you can.
All right.
And you have a degree. Ow. Okay, so let's talk about how you got started doing podcasting and hosting and stuff like that.
That's a long story, but to make a long story short, usually when I say that, it's a really long story afterwards. So I actually try to keep it short. But basically, I started Breaking Wrecords Radio 2013. I grew up in a town called Brantford. I don't know if you know, it's like right outside of Hamilton.
I would be lying to you if I said I did.
Yeah, a lot of people up here don't. But it's basically like the fucking fentanyl capital of Ontario and teen pregnancy capital of Ontario. It's like a little, it's a little...
Did this man just say it's the teen pregnancy capital?
Yeah, it is.
I am done.
It's been that too, but anyway, shout out to everybody in Brantford. But so out there, like the only station you got like one FM station that's actually from the city. Everything else is from surrounding cities, right? So basically, they hardly even play rap. You don't got a chance in hell getting your record on there. So I started Breaking Wrecords Radio, and that was kind of just like to be an outlet to play local artists like myself and my team, and you know, people we knew, and then play them on like, you know, the same show where they'd be like, you know, let's say Rakim song plays, and then this local dude plays, and then like a Big L or, you know, a Rick Ross joint, like kind of put everybody on like the same platform, right? And then it all kind of started when Joel Ortiz for some reason came to Brantford one time, and we got an interview with him. So it was really like our first interview on the show, and then after that I was like, well, that was cool, let's see who else we could interview, right? And then that was back in 2013, and then since then, you know, I've just I've mainly made that a focus more so over the years, over actually making music myself. So that's kind of how it all started, and then, you know, once podcasts became big, that just became a thing into it after.
Dope.
In time, yeah.
Dope. So what are some of the positives and negatives of interviewing Torontonians?
Oh, we want to go to Toronto. Oh, okay.
Because let me see if I have the same.
I'm sure we do. Me and Kevin talk sometimes on the phone and have extended conversations, but I won't say anything about any of those names specifically. But I find it can be a gift and a curse. Like when you got somebody like a DT, for example, shout outs to him. It's cool seeing him in the other room. I wasn't expecting that. But he's very professional. He's about his shit. So when he comes through, wait, can I swear?
Of course you can.
Okay, I'm fucking dope. So, you know, when he comes through, he's about his business. He's there on time, if not early. You know, that's the way I like it. You know what I mean? and you know it's all easy, good to talk to. You know, you have good conversation, good dialogue. But you get some dudes who like hit you up and they're like, "Yo, man, can I come on the show?" You're like, "All right, cool." They come up on the show, and then like they sit there and they hardly fucking talk, and they're like 20 minutes late. But the biggest pet peeve is when someone hits you up to get on the show. You go through the work of doing it, you know, promoting it, and then especially with the video and shit too, and then they don't even share that shit. They don't like that shit. They won't even add it to their story on Instagram. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, you begged me to get on this shit, and now you're not even like doing it. It's like what me and Kevin were saying one day. Sorry, not to put you on blast, but it's like these dudes. It's like they think they're giving you a platform by sharing a link to an interview you took the time out to do with them. And that's the biggest pet peeve.
I love you. No, seriously, I really love you because me and Kevo always have this problem with artists. Like at the end of the day, you guys hit us up in the DMs and say, "Yo, I want an interview. I want this. I want that." We go out of our way to, you know, book the interviews, get the time, get the space, get everything ready, you know, and things like that. You guys show up late sometimes. Then when you guys get here, then when all of that is said and done and it's time for you guys to promote sorry. It's okay, not a problem.
Continue.
Only time that they promote is the time that they know their interview is coming out. So it's like, okay, I know my interview is coming out on Friday, so I'm going to promote it on Friday and never promote it ever again. Yeah. And it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like, okay.
Sometimes they don't even do that.
No.
Yeah. That's a good case scenario sometimes.
I think they feel like by leaving a comment underneath you know when you post their stuff? I feel like they feel like by leaving a comment, some fire emojis, this is fire, or saying a 1-2 thing, they think that that's irrelevant. Like, no, it's not. Because at the end of the day, the time, remember, you guys are not paying us to do this.
Exactly.
You understand what I mean? We could be doing other things, but we decide to do this. Well, just because we love to do it.
You just interviewed Biz Marquee.
You feel me?
You know what I mean? And salute to that.
What you guys know about that?
Yo, this is the Biz Marquee. You listen to Brooklyn Beat Talk on Worldwide.
Try to play me.
So that's what I mean. Yeah, you could be using your time.
No, and I'm not only speaking about us. We're talking about the people who have to edit the stuff. You understand what I mean? Which is not even you probably edit and do everything. But I'm saying for somebody like Kevin who has multiple stuff he has to go through. Yeah. And let's be honest, some of you guys' interviews are trash.
That's the other thing.
Let's be honest. You guys come on here and have nothing to say.
Yeah, that's the thing that drives me nuts.
And it's like Kevin has to put pieces together for it to make sense. Yeah. And you guys don't understand how long that takes, and you're not paying him to do that.
Exactly.
You understand what I mean? Yeah. And his time and other things what he could be doing.
Yeah.
Not forget me, because all I'm doing is interviewing. I feel bad for him because he has to sit down and listen to that boring shit all day.
Yo, and there's nothing that is more annoying than editing a boring interview.
And it's like
you're not even entertained when you're doing it.
And you're trying to make it as fun as possible because you don't want to seem like you're an ass.
Yeah.
So you don't want people to be like, bruh, really? Yeah. But at the same time, you're going to get that where people are like, bruh, did you really? No, my nigga, you only got 20 minutes of that shit. And I sat down for an hour with this nigga. Yeah. So just imagine what I had to go through. You only had 20 minutes. You understand what I mean? So thank you so much for letting that be known, because I think people think that when me and Kevin talk about it, I feel like people think that we're trying to be haters.
Yeah, no, it's just facts. It's just facts.
Thank you.
So people should be fucking respectful of what you're doing. You know what I mean? If they want to do an interview, then be respectful.
So you guys sure you want this up?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, if the shoe fits, whatever.
Listen, at the end of the day, this is about being real, right? This is about being real.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, and everyone likes us. Obviously, people follow you for a reason. People follow me for a reason because I'm authentic. People say it all the time. Brooklyn, I love you because you're real, and that's what I'm doing.
That's what I love most about you.
You understand what I mean? People say it all the time.
I need to come up here. I need to.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Like I'm not gonna say here. No, if you're trash, you're trash, bro. You're just trash.
Facts.
Okay, what have been some of your most funniest behind the scene moments?
Oh man.
Share one. This man's saying.
Shit. It's like
sounds like you having a couple of them.
Oh man, well between the podcasts, like to be honest, like doing like the interviews, like the Breaking Wrecords Radio shit, it doesn't really get too funny for the most part. You know what I mean? The funniest story I could put to that was when like we did the main source interview. K Cut and them were like, yo, come out to what was it, Mishi Me's birthday bash or some shit? Mishi Me or MC Light. It was one of the two, I can't remember.
I love that. I have a crush.
But so we go, right? And like it was after Unity Fest, when they did Unity Fest. So we go and they get us in the club, right? Like just straight to backstage because we're going with them. So I'm worried. I got like a half a 40 in my backpack still, like of like vodka. I'm like, shit, like I gotta get rid of this. My girl's like, well, no, just hold it, you know, see what happens. So we get in. They don't even search us because we're on one main source. So we're sitting backstage. They're just passing us bottles of Grey Goose and shit. And I'm like, yo, this is lit. Like this is the first time, you know, like someone like dope that I've interviewed, I look up to, invite us out. I drank so much fucking Grey Goose, plus the shit I already drank before that. Within like 20 minutes, like I was just like. like my girl had to drag me out of the club and say, like get us a cab home. Like I got that turned up. Aside from radio, like there's not a whole lot of funny stories, but with the podcast and like all that shit, oh man, it's just bare hilariousness. Like you guys know the show, and you guys didn't even get the good show because you guys came when I was all fucking edible stoned out at my crib and my animals running around and shit, and I was just off.
But you know what? I met you in your environment.
Yeah,
like,
himself. That's what.
Yeah, these artists out here, it's just like you're begging and I don't like that. Like we're not begging you, we're trying to help you.
Yeah.
I think they look at it like podcasts like this, our show. They look at it. Oh, you guys are just like your platform's not that big and blah 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 blah. Homie, who's seeing you?
Yeah.
I go on your page, you have 100 followers, boy.
No, but
boy, and
for
2 videos
those,
on YouTube.
For those who say that, I think you need to do the research on Worldwide before you make comments like that. Because if we're on the red carpet for the Rough Riders reunion, alongside BET, Shade Room, like these companies know Worldwide, but I don't think Toronto realizes
how big
Worldwide is in.
Right.
I mean, we were the media for the Tupac Center.
Yeah.
It got to the it got. I don't want to speak too much on it, but it got to the level where people that are above the music industry came in.
Yeah.
And Worldwide got the cease and desist.
Like
because we were trying to set up the statue. It was on TMZ. We broke that news.
Yeah. Right.
We
broke the news on
I blame
TMZ.
this dude over here. Because you're very modest, like he's very Kevin. You'll be like, Kevin, the roof is on fire. It is. Like he's very, like I tell him, I'm like, yo, you're supposed to let people know your accolades and what you do, so that people can understand. Like when I talk about it, everyone's like, bro, you're just a host, so obviously you're gonna big up, blah, blah. No, but I know I've seen it for myself. Like I went on the website, you know, because some people talk all the time, so I went and I checked it out. And I checked out Goldie and all of the other hosts. I'm like, bro, we can be bigger than what we are now. That's cool. You meet the realest people in their environment, and that was your environment.
That's
so
true.
I got to see you for who you are. Now I'm seeing you outside of your, and you're still the same person. You're still cool. You're still chill. Only difference is, you know, I wish you can have a blunt, but you can have it after. But you know what I mean. So when it comes to hosting, who's one of your inspirations when it comes to hosting? Because mine, I would say, is Free. You remember Free and AJ?
Oh yeah.
I always looked up to Free, and I felt like I wanted to be her. Like every time I would watch 106 in Park, I'm like, yo, I want to be her.
Yeah.
You get on.
No, you get on it.
You get on
It's
it.
your bike. Okay, and then you'll get on.
You get on. Now, as you like, go ahead, turn it. I'm gonna hold this microphone for you. Now you gotta give them the purr that you do in the movie, because you know what you do in that movie. Let's go. Catwoman purr. You can do it. Halle Berry, y'all.
Her or Queen Latifah,
Yeah.
I looked up to, because Queen Latifah's a dope host too.
Yeah, if I had to take it like back, cause like, you know, like I said, I kind of just stumbled into media, and then I'd be like, I've always been a rap nerd, so it became something that made sense, you know what I mean, and that like I grew to love, cause I've always just been a fucking rap nerd. But like if I had to really look back, like at the time I don't think I knew it was inspiring, but I would say like George Stroumboulopoulos and Master T on
I was
Much
just about to
Music.
say that. Master T, I loved him.
Make some noise for the legend himself, Master T! Well, definitely want to thank you all. Big up to Daddy-O, 20 years, make some noise, make some noise. You know, also, he mentioned Michael Williams. You definitely have to mention Michelle Geister as well, from Rap City. You know, just last week, I got Roxy's in the house, she's in the back.
I love Master T because he got the interviews I wanted to see, but to be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of his interviewing skill. I thought George Strombo really dug in there and got the info.
Master T did what he wanted. He asked the questions.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like Master T asked the questions he wanted to ask, not the questions that the people wanted to ask. Forget what you want to hear.
Yeah.
I want to know. This is what I want to know. I love Master T for that.
And I love Master T too.
I'm not
for the record, no disrespect. I love what he's doing now with the RX and stuff, like his new interviews he's doing, like the more in-depth stuff.
Yeah.
But he never used to do the in-depth stuff.
But you know, he made his mark the way that he did, and he paved the way for people like T-Rex. My boy, shout out to my boy T-Rex to come and do Rap City himself.
So shout out to both of the freestyles, my man J. Lord, the winner again. Also, I want to send a special shout out to Paul Staff Community Center.
So I salute Master T for that, for paving the way for us to do that, and
Big Tigger too. I'd say
I love Big Tigger. That's where I got like the basement vibe of the comfy couch.
Yeah, that's what I loved about Rap City, right? You know what I'm saying? Rap City was the shit. I wish they would bring that back, but
No love for Oprah?
Oh, of course. Come on. No, guys. I'm talking about my generation, which is like Free and AJ 106 and Park.
Yeah.
Oprah, I'm saying Oprah is on a different level. Like, I would love to be Oprah, but Oprah...
Like AJ's forehead.
Oh, Jesus. His hairline is like back here.
That's on another level.
But I'm saying, like, with Oprah, she's more in depth. Like, she likes that... You know, like what is that? The five guys from
the Central Park Five. Yeah.
Like she does stuff like that. That's more like, you know what I mean. I want the juice. She wants the backstories. I don't want that. I want the juice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll get into that, but right now I want the tea. When you get the tea, I'll come on your show. Oops. Okay, so what are the hardest things about being in the industry?
It depends, I guess, what level you're talking. Like, if you're talking as an artist, you're talking about doing interviews and shit, talking about... You know, I think the hardest thing about the industry nowadays, because, you know, the internet used to be the Wild Wild West, right? So there was a point where, like, everything was just kind of a free-for-all. And I think the people who got in at that time had it really good, because the industry now, and the industry what it was in, like, the 90s, are almost kind of similar to the same thing. You need to go to one of the key holders basically to really, really push through, or have tons of money backing you, or just be patient as hell and growing an audience over years and years. You know what I mean? Kind of like what the old school industry was. Like, I think the people who came up, like the Soulja Boy era and stuff, like they were spoiled as shit, because it was before all the algorithms and stuff were brought in. And you know, I think at that point it was really, you know, it's like this. But I'd say the hardest part of the industry is just being independent, really.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And finding people who you can rely on to be a part of your team. Because a lot of times if you just want something done, you do it yourself. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to rely on other people who really got your vision.
I see. That's why I like interview. See, I don't know if it's because we both do the same thing, but he knows how to answer questions. I like that, bro. No hesitation, no nothing, no stuttering. You know what I mean? Okay, so what are your thoughts on the whole female/stripper rapper debate from Jermaine Dupri started?
I think Jermaine Dupri's bugging, but I think at the same time, to somebody who is maybe completely ignorant to what's going on, I could, I guess, see where he was coming from. And I think that his words were taken a bit out of context initially. Now he's riding the trolling, because he just came out and said that next shit like the other day and tried to like, he double backed on what he had originally said. I can't remember exactly the comment, but it was on, was it with Crooked Eye or whatever, some interview he did. But yeah, I don't know, I think he's bugging, but I can see exactly where he's coming from. He's coming from a place of ignorance, because really what hip-hop is now with the females, they're killing shit right now. But it's no different than what was going on in the late 90s, like your Trinas and your, you know what I mean? That wasn't strip rap, you know, it was girls expressing their sexuality. And just because now Cardi B is like the forefront of, like, you know, she's the biggest female rapper right now, that doesn't mean all the other popular female rappers are all doing strip rap. Like,
facts.
You know what I mean? They're just expressing their sexuality, but it's no different than what it was then. That's
true. But I think with the ladies back then, it wasn't, they weren't so bold. Like Trina, Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, especially those three, were very bold about their sexuality, and you know, all these deep throat, everything that Cardi B's talking about, those girls been there, done that, spoke about it, and whatever.
Facts.
But the only thing is that I feel it's her personality, the way that she's presenting herself with it, and then the generation that's coming behind it is like, they don't really understand it, and it's like, let's be honest, in the city girl raps, they're kind of telling girls to go out there and bag niggas and do this and do that thing, and I think that's where he's basically saying, yo, at the end of the day, it's like, all right, copy, like, that's what you're teaching this generation to be, like, stripper rappers talk about those type of things. I think that's what he's trying to say, like,
I think that's what he was trying to say.
No,
if
that's what you're gonna do, I don't rock with that, which I understand, because at the end of the day, what are you teaching these kids? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Little Kim and all that type of, but he has to understand this generation doesn't have the mentality that we have. Like,
grew up on the internet.
we knew better than to follow Little Kim and these girls and Deep Throat, do all these type of things. Girls are way more bold nowadays.
We were raised by people who were role models. The new generation's raised by the fucking internet. And
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
That's basically what it is, and they follow whatever the internet is doing. They're doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's facts.
And
so then, you're the one that sent me the Young Miami info.
Which one? The one of her getting shot?
Yeah, she got shot 14 times.
Yeah, 14 times at her car. And this is what I'm talking about. Crazy. When you guys live that lifestyle and talk about A, B, C, and D in your rap, you have to understand that there's going to be backlash and things are going to happen behind it. You understand what I mean? I'm not condoning any of that, because that's out of line. She's pregnant, first of all, and
that's fucking
really
wild.
Out of line.
Like, someone really
whoever did that, trust me, you're out of line.
Rapper at risk, a major scare for rapper Young Miami from the hip-hop group The City Girls.
It came from behind. The shot started from behind.
New video has been circulating on social media after a Miami-based rapper was shot at early Tuesday morning. The clip allegedly shows Carisha Brownlee, better known as Young Miami, on the scene at Northwest 135th Street and 1st Avenue, describing the people who fired at her.
I don't know where they came from. That's what it was.
Brownlee is one half of the popular rap duo City Girls, who have collaborated with artists like Cardi B and French Montana.
For that, you get no stripes, no nothing for that. I don't give a damn about that.
And this kind of goes to the, like, you know, you heard about
where
the
was her
glasses
bodyguards? That's my thing. Why is she driving by herself? Does she not? I know she.
Yeah, that's facts too.
Why are you not? First off, where's the father of your child? Why is he not with you? And why are you doing interviews by yourself? Or where? I think she was coming from an interview. They said
because I saw it last night, but I thought it said some young rapper got shot in Miami. Oh, that's why I discarded it, and I was like, when you said it to me, I was like, oh, that's what I.
Yeah, and in the back of my head, I'm like, where's your security? That's the first thing I would say. As her, like, I would go to my manager, like, if I was her mom or something, if I was a relative or somebody close to her, but like, bro, like, management, like, why was she going to interviews by herself?
Yeah.
She's pregnant, first of all. She shouldn't be rolling by herself, period.
Especially as a female of that stature, too.
You're not supposed to be
dudes aren't
rolling
rolling around by themselves, so like, why?
Not even dudes.
Yeah.
And you seen what happened to Nipsey, and he rolled by himself when he never went with his entourage. What happened to him? Like, nowadays you can't, bro. People don't care if you're a man, a woman, a child, nothing. You see all these mass shootings, everything that's going on. People don't care nowadays.
No, it's facts. And the other thing I was gonna say too, though, is like with that situation, like that's foul. Like, you gotta think, if someone really wants to shoot you and you're pregnant and they're gonna shoot you that many times, like, you must have done something.
14.
Like, you know the glasses Malone joint? Now, I'm not condoning what happened, but what I'm saying is there's two sides to every story. If someone's gonna riddle your whip with 14 bullets, like,
my thing,
and you're pregnant,
no,
like,
it could be. The father of her child is not a regular 9 to 5 Joe. Let's just put it that way. So we don't know.
Maybe it was on some shit
we
like
don't
that, maybe,
know if it was something that had to deal with him that, you know, may have affected her in a way. Which a lot of people on the internet were, like, if you go in the comments, they were kind of saying, yo, he's a bad guy, why are you with him, he's no good, blah, 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 all these type of stuff. So that could have been a reason.
That would make sense.
Because I don't see nobody going after, why would you go after
that's what I mean, like,
like, the only way I can think is that they thought that he was probably in the car.
Yeah, or just like, or
one of those things. That's something that I can say. You're gonna riddle up a car 14 times. You had to be going after somebody.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So
or get a message through.
You feel me? And I think that's what happened. They got a message through. Yo, warn your nigga. Like, yo, tell him to. I don't know what's going on, because you never know what's happening until shit hits the fan. That's when we find out everything.
That's fucking crazy though. Like.
So what would you like to see happen in the Toronto scene?
I'd like to see more unity. I mean, I feel like it's a cliche answer, but that's exactly what I think. Yeah, it's what the city's missing, you know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to... It goes to the same thing we're talking about media. It's like people are so self-absorbed in their own image and like trying to be the best and number one, have the most followers and shit. It's like you could do an interview with them and they won't even share. Like I got a better chance of fucking, you know what I mean? DMC or Run DMC sharing my interview with them than I do with like half these fucking local dudes. Like, you know what I mean?
Nobody knows about it.
You know what I mean? Do you know what's really pissed you off when they don't even like the post? You know what I mean? You ever get that? Oh man. Oh man. Don't get me started on that.
We're not gonna get started because we're gonna be here all day talking about you guys.
But yeah, unity I think is the biggest thing. Like I think people just gotta put the egos aside, and what they gotta realize is if we all support each other, we all liking each other's shit, we all coming out to each other's shows, we all, you know what I mean? So showing love for each other and support for each other, it makes the scene so much bigger in itself. Because without all this divided, you know what I mean, like almost like plotting kind of mentality, then you know, everything appears bigger because there's so much more support behind it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think the most important thing is. Like, that's why, like, cities like Atlanta and shit are winning, because these dudes are all supporting, hopping on each other's shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, they have that unity there. And I think that's the biggest thing missing in our scene.
Facts. I like that. And you know what's funny? Everybody comes on here and says the same thing.
This is off the record. What you...
It's off the record?
How did you come up with your podcast, Turono Talks?
Turono Talks. So that was kind of like an idea, like, so it really basically the root of it was one day, like Dustin, you know Dustin Wareham, so he made a post about like, you know, like bigots and like kind of like alt-white dudes in hip-hop, like white dudes in hip-hop, and just like how this doesn't make sense but how we see so many of it. And I was seeing some of these dudes he's talking about too, so like I made this post about it. And it's funny because Dustin made this post, it got like 15 likes. I think a couple people unfriended him. I made a very similar post but as a white dude, and it got like 150 likes and all this stuff, you know what I mean? He's like, it just shows how fucked up this shit is, right? So then I got him on our show, Breaking Wrecords Radio, and we talked, and we were like, yo, like this would be a good like basis to kind of start a podcast on, right? And then I see Mike's always controversial, right? Me and Mike had only met once. We didn't really know each other at the time. But I was like, yo, like, do you know Mike? He's like, yeah, me and Mike go way back. I'm like, all right, so maybe mention it to him because me and him don't know each other well. I'm like, but I think he would be a good third person on the show for a balance between us all. And he hit up Mike. Mike was down. So after me and Dustin did the interview, that was kind of technically the pilot episode. And then Mike came through a couple weeks later, and we just started going. And the show very quickly turned from being, you know, very social. Like we get social sometimes on it, you know what I mean, and talk about topics and politics and shit, but it quickly turned into this thing of its own where it's just kind of like the chemistry between us three just works perfect. I'm the outspoken random fucking drunk white guy. Mike is just a hilarious troll.
Fresh and white chocolate.
Then white chocolate. And then you got Dustin, who's like kind of more serious, like revolutionary minded, and it just kind of the pockets all kind of fit together. So you got your balance of comedy, you got your balance of good conversation, you got your balance of, you know, social aware topics and stuff like that too. So it all just kind of meshes together. But yeah, just kind of an idea me and Dustin kind of bounced off, and then I was like, yo, I think Mike would be good, like, because he's such a troll, you know what I mean? Because he's trolling to get conversation going. He's always trolling to get something discussed, right?
Yeah. It's for community,
well, because it comes from
a
place of love, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like...
And that's the difference between you and someone who's gonna sit here and say, "Oh man, rap sucks today." Blah blah blah, this and that. I miss Dr. Dre. I miss you know Wu-Tang. I miss this, and they don't even give 1% of anything that's out today. And listen to be like, you know, maybe that's actually kind of dope. They're not hip hop fans. They like rap from a certain perspective at time. You're doing it out of love, and that's the difference between a rap fan and a hip hop fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why we gotta big up Vlad. Like a lot of people, he's a culture vulture, he's a this that, but he comes from the essence.
Man, he grew up breakdancing when like the only record on the radio was
and he's one of the few white boys that was part of the culture and grew up in the culture. Now you can look at him as, oh, he's this guy with a media thing, and he's making all his money off of black stories, but majority of people in the rap music are black.
I think. And did you see the two guys that own Genius? Oh man. They're two people you don't want representing culture.
But didn't Nas invest in the Genius? Like,
yeah, he did. Well, I always thought it was his thing, but he's kind of the face that's like used to sell it. You know what I mean? Or no, but he's
minority investor or something.
Exactly. Kind of like the same way that, like, you know, the whole Barclays thing, and now people are getting really pissed off because it kind of fucked up Brooklyn really badly, and the whole
Brooklyn was already fucked up, man.
And that's what I liked. I was like, you know, I'd be the perfect person to kind of have on there because you need that. You need It's kind of like with the Jermaine Dupri thing. It's like, yeah, what he said might not have been right, but it got the conversation started.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Put some fire underneath a couple people's asses.
And by the way, Turono Talks every Wednesday. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. Turono
I like
Talks.
that plug.
You know what I'm saying? We live every Wednesday, 7:30.
Okay, so you also have Breaking
Wrecords Radio.
So how did you come up with that concept?
Well, that was kind of like the start of it all. So that's the show we started back in 2013, like from the jump when you asked about like the podcasting. I relate it all back to that because that's how it all started. Without doing the radio show, I wouldn't do any podcasting. You know what I mean? Like it all just kind of fell into place that way. But basically that was the story behind it. It's just no one was giving us outlets, so we created our own. And that was basically the gist of it. And by the way, Breaking Wrecords Radio, every Saturday at 8 p.m. on www.maximumfm.ca. We got Hosh G of the UMCs on this Saturday, depending when this video comes out.
Boom, boom, boom.